Hello and welcome to another episode of 7 Days to Die with Mr. Acid, or Mr. Acid Heads. Either works. Acid Heads being the name I use for my music and production stuff. Going back to the first DAW, digital audio workstation I used and still continue to use, which is the Acid software from originally Sony, now from Magix. If you wonder why I got that, or how I got that name for any reason. So what we're going to be doing here is, in the last video I recorded and uploaded, as of right now, I showed you what I've been working on with the Inner Key mod, and it just so happens that day 11 with the random Horde nights turned on is going to be a Horde night, so I decided, as I was doing some more testing, that when I saw that I was going to go ahead and do a video fighting the Horde so you can see how the mod actually handles a Horde. No guarantees that I'm going to survive this. I mean, I have not done extensive testing on this yet. As of now, it feels like it's in a decent spot, but I still need to do some testing. So, my dude here is at level 25, so I have used, I believe it would be 28 perk points. That's, I think, what you normally would have. You know, I do use mods to give you extras, you know, the Zombipedia books that you can find that'll give you a point, and then doing quest, or finishing out quest tiers gives some points, and starting with 8 points instead of 4, you know. Just different things like that, because I like to level a bit faster and keep the game a bit more high intensity. But again, I wiped out all my perk points and then created a build that would be more or less what you would actually have. Yeah, or, you know, something that would be a bit more reasonable. So a couple of points in strength and sexual Tyrannosaurus, sexy T-Rex, because you have to have the stamina perks. A perk in pain tolerance and rule 1 cardio. I got parkour up to 2 because I just like that extra mobility, so that's a build I definitely would use. A point in better barter and daring adventurer, because if you're going to do any dealings with traders, you basically have to have those. And then over here I've got a key up to level 5. I considered only doing level 3 because you can still get pretty far just by doing 3. But I did want to have at least one of the skills up to the point where I can do AoE for this. So this one is just the key aura, and what it does is that it inflicts the knockdown status effect on them when it triggers. So there's a good, 15% chance enemies just be punching and all of a sudden they'll just fall down. You know, your ki is so powerful. So I got, like I said, I got ki aura up to 5. I don't have devastating ki or any of the other really special ones. I've got limb from limb up to 4, which is your basic fighting one, but I don't have any points in any of the other ones right now. I considered doing devastating ki because it burns them, but it takes longer to kill them. So I wanted to do damage, have a good chance of ripping them apart, and just keep bashing them, keep knocking them back. I'm tempted to put a couple of points into crashing, and yeah, it's a thrusting winds. Again, I need to change names and stuff here and there, just because it's so much fun. I think I will. Just imagine that I'm at level 27 instead of 25. Which is not that unreasonable. You know, depending on how aggressive you are, you can definitely reach that. Even on vanilla settings, 100% XP and all that, you could probably get to level 27 or so by day 14. I'd say, yeah, if you were fairly aggressive, that shouldn't be a problem. But again, I wasn't going to do any of the extra points, but I love thrusting wind. It's just fun. and it is extremely useful. Unfortunately, in this situation, it won't be as useful, because that one only triggers against a single enemy. Well, you have to hit them. So, since your punches actually can hit multiple enemies as you're swinging, there is a chance that you can nail more than one enemy with any and all of your abilities. But right now, I'm just going to be focusing on defending myself with the rather small array of skills. As I said, one of the main breaks on the power level is simply the amount of points that it takes to really level any of this stuff up. You know, Thrusting Wind unlocks at 3, and then you can get second level at 5, but ones, like most of the 3 level ones, you don't have access to until you get to level 5. And, yeah, the only way you're really going to be super overpowered, I feel, is if you completely ignore all other skills. Now, if you're playing in a group and you have other people that can specialize into everything else, basically, you'll be fine. You know, if you're just going to be the go-to guy for sending into buildings and fucking stuff up, you'd probably be a-okay. Hunky-dory. Alright, this is about to kick off. Let's get it on. And I don't mean sexy times, I mean punch people in the facey times. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Horde. And if you want to see me go out and fight them out there, yeah, I do have them set on nightmare speed, I think, for this. So, I'm going to say no. Maybe it's only sprint. And there they all fall down. See, I built this as kind of a short range melee base, and I consider the distance you force them to move to be pretty important in this sort of base, because you have to give yourself time to recover your stamina, especially if you don't burn points to get Sexy T-Rex up at least to level 2. So far we're not doing too bad. Let's see if we can pull this off. Come on, let's play. Yeah, well, that didn't go very well for very long. Now, giving them a chance to accumulate this is going to be a little more problematic to deal with. Gusty wind finally triggered here. There's that devastating key strike. Absolutely lifesaver. Oh, that's Finally it. Boy, oh boy, that was something. That's another bug I need to fix with loot table stuff that I've changed. Because I made up a mod of my own to make sure you get better stuff out of loot drops, because let's face it, the zombie loot drops are just straight up abysmal. Always disappointing. So one of them I put in, one of the options I put in was to get stuff like the, the clothing stuff, but there's something wrong with that one, because every time I've had any of that stuff drop, it's always been a huge haul of it. Which I'm sure, most people would go, wow, this is amazing loot. Pardon me, this is an amazing loot drop, but it's a bit too much, I think. A bit way too much. I mean, you can find all this stuff pretty easily anyway. I mean, you go to a laundromat, you're likely to find pretty much all the glasses, and possibly even a cigar. Well, no, you wouldn't find cigars in the laundromat, but usually you can find pairs of glasses in the laundromats. But yeah, it's just, I need to change that. I think it's just, I put in a wrong number on how many items you can get. Probably should only be like 1 to 3, and then I most likely have it way too high or something. Well, not most likely. Obviously, there's something amiss there that I need to figure out and fix. All the rest of them work pretty much just fine. That's the only one that's absurdly too much. And anyway, yeah, that was a Horde night, day 11 Horde night, with the martial arts mod, and as you saw, it's reasonably effective without being super overpowered. If I was using guns, I would have probably had no problem dealing with any of that. Even if when I was running around, I probably could have run around and kited them and shot them pretty effectively. So, depending on how you want to play with this particular mod, it can be extremely powerful as you get into the later parts of the game, but not particularly so early on. But that's true of pretty much all of the combat perks. Because this gives you a whole lot of different options and potential play styles that you can play with. You can go really defensive, like using there's the daytime tune, Kiss of the North Winds to slow them down, Shredding Fist, that to get rid of their armor, Touch of Master White Eyebrows to cripple them, Thrusting Wind to knock them away from you. You can go defensive like that, or you can just max out on things like Devastating Key. Well, Key Aura also is defensive because it knocks them down when you hit them, like you saw through that fight. Devastating Key, just set everybody on fire, electrocute them, Dim Mock to make them bleed out pretty quickly in most cases. Quickly enough to matter. There's some different options you can take. If you really like the extra mobility, you can throw some points into You know, Wings of Psycho. Just get that little bit of extra bounce. Until you really level it up and then you get a whole lot of extra bounce. So, yeah. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate your viewership. Please remember to go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, share the video, and leave comments if you have any questions about the mod, any other mods you might want me to explore. No guarantees. I'm not a real expert on modding, but I might be able to pull something off if you ask about it. And, you know, all the other stuff, because that's just how YouTube's algorithms work. That helps the video get seen by more people. So once more, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. See you later.